This course helps you to understand the operating principles for the Kenn system. 1. A medically proven and sound system for successful reduction of weight. 2. This is a new system that targets the fat in the body, not your muscle. The most common statements and situations experienced by overweight people can be found in the following. 1. Most are embarrassed by their weight and size. 2. Going on vacation or the beach triggers body issues. 3. Nothing fits. Clothes, shoes, and driving a car with extra weight presents obstacles. A few have started to have an awareness that weight is a very serious health issue. Obesity is a lifelong health-damaging habit. Kenn54, author of the book The Hungry Self, wrote, "Why an obsession with food? Why do we find debilitating conflict when we might expect freedom and liberation?" In short, there's an epidemic, obsession between eating and identity. Overweight people do not realize that the lifelong habit has impacted their health. Often, overweight people state that their weight cannot be changed and that it is their destiny. There is a picture of two separate individuals, and we look on the left side, a picture of a man weighing 297 pounds, and another one where there's two individuals on top of each other to mirror the total of that one man. From this picture, you can actually see how extra weight impacts the body and damages our health. It helps us to visualize how much extra weight we carry daily on our backs. Ask yourself, what parts of the body suffer? Your knees, back, posture, hips, and your feet are under great stress. The cartilage of the knee, such as the meniscus, will wear out with the heavy weight bearing down day after day. The feet will take more of the weight bearing, stressing the arch and the other areas of the feet. Let's look at the spinal column and excess weight. Several inches will be lost from our height with heavy weight load that is carried. The vertebrae is squeezed down, and this causes bulging discs. Discs are tissue filled with nerves and fluid causing pain when compressed. Your knees wear, and also think about how hard your heart is working. Medical conditions arising from excess weight are liable to remain after weight reduction. However, at the reduced rate, most of the medical conditions are eased. For example, high blood pressure and medications may be no longer needed after the weight loss. The bottom line is to avoid the serious health conditions that are a result from excess weight. Here's a photo about cellulite. So let's dispel a myth about cellulite. It is a common belief that cellulite never disappears even with weight reduction. This is unfounded. As you can see from these photographs, the Kenn system actually melts the fat and preserves the muscles. It will rid your body the cellulite once you arrive at the target healthy weight. There are thousands of ways for weight loss. The Kenn system is not a diet, but it is a weight reduction treatment. And with these features, 1, it is very quick. Weight reduction from 7 to 10% of your body weight in a 10-day cycle. 2, it is very safe and medically sound and supervised by medical doctors. In this graph, we have some very interesting things. Let's look at this, the norm and the population of this graph. For instance, healthy risk related with obesity is in this chart and in this graph. As you can see, we compare diabetes and also high blood pressure and also osteoarthritis. Cardiovascular disease is also highlighted in here. What happens is that when we carry extra weight and fat cells, we actually have a higher incidences of cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure problems, hypertension, and osteoarthritis. And this is coming from a 2009 report. This is a classification of overweight and obesity, the BMI, the waist circumference, and the associated disease rates. BMI actually is your body mass index. This is where we measure your fat content in one body. If you can see, the source of this graph is from the National Health, Lung, and Blood Institute. Here you will see the BMI for underweight. If you're under 18.5%, it's really considered another health issue. The normal BMI would be 18.5 to 24.9%. Overweight, anything over 25%. And then when you go into 30%, you have a very increased or high, very high risk for type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease. At 35 to 39.9%, it is extremely high, with the risk factor for diabetes, type 2, hypertension, and CVD. Once you have extreme obesity over 40%, you will have almost a guarantee high risk of type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease. In this photograph, the nutrition of the woman is a formula of protein plus calories. What is normally ingested by this woman was excess calories and proteins. With the Kennsystem, it removes the ingestion of calories and uses the reserves of the patient's calories. The reserved calories are the excess fat that is in this patient's body. Proteins are needed to renew the body. The calories found in the fat and carbohydrates are used as a source of energy. Another element of the Kennsystem is removing the stored fats, which produces a chemical called ketones. Ketones are the foundation of acetone. Acetone is an organic compound that has the property to cancel hunger sensation. As long as the Kennsystem is followed, you will not experience hunger pain. We have another photograph of a patient following the Kennsystem. If you look on the left-hand side, you can see where most of the fat cells are in the abdomen, arms, and the back, and the lower back. On the right side of the photograph, you can actually see how the fat has melted down with the Kennsystem. How weight reduction operates with Kennsystem: a spectacular loss of weight in a very short time, a loss of 7 to 10% of the patient's body weight in 10 days. When we look at the picture right here with the results of the Kennsystem after 5 cycles, this is a woman who had lost 88 pounds. I want you to look at when she started at the day 0. Go to first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. You can understand then our statement of how the fat is melted down. The Kennsystem results after 5 cycles. As you can see, the weight reduction for the Kennsystem is achieved through through the loss of fat, not the loss of muscles. The patient lost 88 pounds with the Kennsystem, going from 231 pounds down to 143 pounds. Her arm muscles, as you can see, are all there. There is no falling skin from her stomach. Let's look at this graph. On the left-hand side, you will see total amount of muscle and fat, and they remain equal, and then total weight in the blue column. When we go to the third cycle, we will see that the muscle remained the same level the fat was reduced down. The total weight was also reduced. And in the final weight, you will see again that the muscle remained the same, but it really shrunk down the fat. And then the total weight was also reduced again. Let's look at the amphetamines and how weight goes down with the amphetamines. Let's go in the left-hand column again. We have the exact same amounts of muscle and fat figures as we did in the Kennsystem graph we just reviewed. When we look at the third cycle, we will see that muscle actually went down to 7 and fat remained the same, and there was a weight reduction from the original figure, but it also meant a reduction of muscle. Then we go to the final cycle, and we will see that the muscle did go back to its original size. However, the fat cells increased. It did not shrink, and therefore the total weight of the patient's body weight in 10 days actually increased at the end of the amphetamine usage for a diet and slimming. Amphetamine weight loss is through muscle, and there is an actual increase in fat. This is why the Kennsystem attaches great importance to the body's lean and fat mass. The Kennsystem melts the fat, and then there is no need for the body to replace the fat once the Kennsystem is completed and followed completely. Whereas there's a craving hunger with the amphetamines to replace muscle lost during that diet, urgently needed back by the body, which increases the quantity of food intake and finally provokes an increased final weight. We measure the body's lean and fat mass with the bioelectric impedance analysis, or otherwise known as BIA. BIA is ranked with a standard error of the estimate. Clinically used in nutritional and medical practice, it is the measurement of lean and fat mass in your body. As we can see in this picture, the patient literally lays down and is measured by the hand and the feet. Perhaps you are asking if there's any negative side effects using the Kennsystem. The answer is no, due to the Kennsystem of infusion in its protein solution. It is akin to eating a steak, actually less than 1 steak per day. It is not a high-protein diet. This is a regular protein level diet which is recommended nutritionally. There are those who cannot utilize the Kennsystem weight reduction. Anyone with kidney disease or a milk allergy are the exceptions. You will consume the same amount of protein as recommended. However, the Kennsystem is without calories. The Kennsystem has a weight reduction treatment that provides the correct element to avoid the acidity and the sluggish bowel movement found in the protein diet. In Part 2, you will have a detailed list of the Kennsystem components. You will see the tube being inserted into the patient. And as you can see, a very thin nasogastric tube is inserted through the nostril down to the stomach. It does not cause pain or injury. Most speak of the sensation of having a crumb of bread in the throat for a few minutes. No aesthetic is needed. It feels like a pair of sunglasses once it's inserted. The Kennsystem has a portable bag which contains the bag of protein fluid, and you can carry it everywhere. And it contains the pump and the fluid. As you can note with this individual, he is actually carrying his Kennsystem and the pump and the protein fluid, and you can barely see the gastronasal tube going from his nostril around his ear. Next, we have a PowerPoint position. However, we must look at this picture and realize how the Kennsystem has portability. Another feature is that it's autopiloted with the nutrition system. The pump provides the balance balance and exact nutrition and quantity. Clinical artificial nutrition system made portable applied to the Kenn diet to fight overweight, the Kennsystem. Kenn introduced the nasogastric artificial nutrition system to the ketogenic slimming diet. This is how it used to be. Portability. Today you can go on with all of your normal activities and follow the Kennsystem. The great advantage, it's autopiloted. Thanks to the portable artificial nutrition system, no control or food is required on the side of the patient. One of the main reasons for the failure of slimming diets is due to the lack of control on the quantity of food allowed in the diet. Other important advantages. 1. No surgery. A tiny nasogastric tube is inserted easily and painlessly. 2. No hunger. The ketones produced by the diet wipe out the hunger sensation. 3. It is fast. A spectacular loss of weight in a very short time. A loss of 7 to 10% of the patient's body weight in 10 days. 4. The target of the slimming system is the fat, and therefore the muscle mass goes untouched through the treatment and is just the fat that is melted down. 5. It is totally safe. For 10 days period, all the nutrition needed to keep the body healthy is provided by a portable small pump. Feedback on the system. Over 6,000 patients have up until now successfully experienced the system. Over 3 years of implementation by the Kennsystem. Take into consideration how the Kennsystem, you do not spend money toward food or groceries during the 10 days. Add savings of groceries to the comparison of other weight loss programs that do not work or require constant repeats of yo-yo dieting. Let's have an overview of the Kennsystem. The pump to which the tube is connected operates 24 hours a day for 10 days. The pump provides a protein solution inside the portable handbag. Activities that you can do during the Kennsystem weight reduction process is normal work and home life. You can drive. Well, no jogging or running. However, walking is recommended to burn the ketones in your body. No solid food. Only liquids without sugar during the 10 days. The liquids you are allowed to drink are water, sparkling water, coffee, and tea. No sweeteners at all. Remember, with the Kennsystem, you will not experience hunger. Sugar causes ketones to disappear, igniting the hunger sensation. These are common mistakes that you need to avoid. Do not take chewing gum, especially sugar-free, instant tea or coffee, lemons and beverages, milk and coffee, oats, medications that contain sugar, chew food, and then spit it out. All of this actually halts the Kennsystem nutrition program and weight reduction program. With your medical supervision and recommendation, in Part 2, you will see how to operate the entire pump and perform the ketones check and how to modulate the intake of proteins and other supplements. Thank you very much.